Okay. This is such an important topic, and it's one that I find myself repeating over and over in podcasts and when I do presentations, because it is one that it's kind of it's one that is in our brains, but it doesn't surface. And I find that when I talk about it in presentations, or when I talk about it in one-on-one life coaching sessions, the light bulb goes on and people go, oh yeah, I've been doing this my whole life. And it really does get people to realize what they're doing, and it gets people to see that there is not something wrong with them, and it's not their sluggish metabolism, and it's not their thyroid, and it's not their hormones, and it's not their age. It's behaviors. Of course, these things are going to have an effect: hormones, age, and I'll talk about all those things and why those things do impact weight loss. But the bottom line is, your behaviors are what impacts weight loss the most. And Nancy, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit because you're here. Do you mind? We don't have to tell your age, but if you want to tell your age, you can. You lost a substantial amount of weight later in life, and most people would say that at your age that it wouldn't be possible because of hormones, because postmenopausal, whatever the list of excuses are. People would say that it couldn't have been done. Correct? And how many times did you say that yourself?
I kept getting stuck, and I did keep saying that.
Yeah, and you're a nurse, so you have medical knowledge as well. So, and I clearly remember, clear as day, how frustrated you would get with FitnessPal.
Oh yes. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I have, and I'm not saying that you're the only one, because this happened a lot. But I remember vividly going, I don't think she's ever going to get this, because it can be very hard, and you got it. It was like one day.
And once it clicks, it's like, I don't want to be without it.
Totally.
Yes.
Like, exactly. Like, one day I was like, she's never going to get this. And the next day I stopped hearing from you. It was like, you just, and then the weight went from like 170 to 160 to 150 to 140 to 130 to 120. I mean, it was like crazy.
It's very true. Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So there is right there proof, and there's a correlation between what my whole presentation is going to be about today. And not only is this proof, but I have 1,000 other people that I've helped that can validate it, and there's scientific research also that proves this. So with that being said, to log or not to log? Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it's time consuming. Yes, it is frankly a pain. And I'm going to tell you later in this presentation why we don't want to do it, what reasons we give to ourselves that we justify for why we don't want to do it. And they're all valid, but it all boils down to that same answer of the result is not going to be what you want it to be, and that is weight loss. So the biggest factors in why people can't lose weight are portions too large, mindless eating, and we have this clear our plate philosophy that we've been raised with.
Oh, absolutely.
And all of these things can be resolved with logging. And I'm gonna share my screen here because I have a little PowerPoint that I put together. That'll just make it a little bit more fun for us to look at. So, okay. So do you see me at all?
No.
Yeah.
You do see me?
On the side.
Yes.
On the side.
Oh, okay. I think it depends on if you have your phone or, okay. So, all right. So to log or not to log, why is it so important? This part in my program, every single time I get to this where I'm pitching my program and I get to the point where I have to tell someone they have to log, I cringe because I think, oh gosh, this is the point where I'm gonna lose them. You know, it's not the $195 that they have to spend. It's this part. They're gonna say no because it's a commitment. But when I say that you have a 90% chance of succeeding if you do this, why wouldn't you do this? I mean, it's huge. You have a 90% chance of success if you do this. And this is free. Simple. So this is why it's important. People who keep food journals are more likely to be successful in losing weight, keeping it off. In fact, researcher from one recent study says that people keeping a food diary 6 days a week lost about twice as much weight as those people who kept food records 1 day a week or less. So I'm not liking this 6 day a week thing because you could really go rogue 1 day a week. I mean, you could really do some damage 1 day a week. But the point is that logging your food. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Hi. Logging your food is a visual reminder and representation of everything that you have eaten. And I know you know this, but the rest of what I'm going to present to you is really going to surface some things. We all suffer from portion distortion. This is not a very clear slide. I apologize that it came out blurry, that it's so big, but we have been raised in a society where more is best, more is more. And 35 years ago, a cheeseburger was what a normal size portion cheeseburger it would be. A McDonald's cheeseburger, which is this big, is 210 calories. That is a normal portion size cheeseburger. If you went to Red Robin and they served you that, you'd never go back. If you went to any restaurant and they served you a McDonald's sized cheeseburger, the reviews at these restaurants would be so poor that they would close instantly. So instead, everything is super monster sized and people finish what's on their plates. And because of this, we've now this distorted idea of what a normal portion size is. Looking at these, pizza slices, we've all seen the monster size pizza slices. The one slice of Costco pizza is 850 calories.
Oh.
Right. And I walk out every time I go there and I see people just, mowing on this, and it's such a great deal because it's, $9 for this huge pizza, but it's 850 calories. And that's actually 3 portions of pizza. But you would never stop and think that, not even for a second. If you look at the pasta below, everybody's so carb phobic. I literally spend my entire life educating people on carbs are okay. Because you're not supposed to eat a platter of carbs. A platter of carbs is 1,200, 1,300 calories. We think that carbs are bad because we go to restaurants and they serve us this plate full of carbs. And anybody eating that amount of carbs is going to gain weight. I don't care who you are. I'm a marathon runner. I've gained, Maria, you're an ultra runner. She's crazier than I am. She's run like hundreds and hundreds of miles. She gained weight because we cannot burn off enough calories, even as runners, to eat platters of pasta like that. You're only supposed to get a cup. But we don't know this. You know, the muffins at Costco, that's 3 servings. 3. The Get You Fit muffins that you make that are this size, that's a serving. Do you see the difference? So when you go to log your food and you actually have to measure it and put it on a food scale, see how pathetic 1 cup is. You're eating a lot less, aren't you? Yeah. So when I made that video this morning, I don't know how many people watched it, of the casein.
Yeah.
And I did that whipped cream on top. I actually, you know, if you look at the label and it says 1 tablespoon of whipped cream is, 25 calories. Well, how do you measure a tablespoon of whipped cream? You can't, right? Because it's hard. So the true way to do it is to put it on the food scale and weigh it. What you saw me put on there was 70 calories. 70. It's insane. Coffee creamer. I same thing. You know, you pour it in till it's that perfect color of tan. I guarantee you it's 70 calories. And I know that the bottle says 25 calories for a tablespoon. If you really put it on the food scale and measured it, it's that ugly, icky, pukey, poopy color. You're not drinking that. You're putting in enough to make it look the way you want it to look. And unless you're weighing it and you're really measuring it, we have portion distortion. And that is the absolute bottom line. So logging is going to get you to see that. The other problem is plate sizes. In 1985, this is what a plate size looked like. The average plate sizes in 1985 were 10-inch plates. Today, the average, in 2005, it climbed up to 12 inches. And today, actually, the average plate size is 13 inches. So the bigger the plate, the more food you put on it. And I mean, that's no surprise at all. The bigger the purse, the more crap you put in it, the more, the bigger your trunk in your car, the more, I mean, it's just what we do. And, we've even done studies where we've taken, 2 plates that fit the same volume, but they look bigger or smaller. And, no matter what, you're filling that plate. So again, you go to a restaurant, restaurants want good ratings. They want you to come back. They fill the plate. And, Chipotle, my daughters always go there, and, they always like to pretend they're starving college girls, even though I pay for everything. So they go to Chipotle and they split the burrito salad thing. And, it's their college thing. And they come home with the 1 bowl, right? And you've seen the burrito bowls at Chipotle. And they split it and they put it in 2 separate Pyrexes in my house. And you'd swear that it's 2 complete Mongo big bowls. I posted it last year on Facebook because I couldn't believe how much was in one. It's nuts. Again, we finish our plates. So when you are forced to log, then you're putting everything on a food scale here. You're measuring it, and it's in front of you. So the Clean Plate Club study, I love this research. I actually saw this study on Newsline or Nightline back when I was a teacher, before I was even in this field. It was done in 1980 something. A field of researchers took 100 preschool kids and followed them on up through adolescence. And half of them were from homes where parents expected their kids to clean their plates. And the other half were from homes where parents were of the philosophy, you can just get up and go when you're done eating, you don't have to finish your plate. 80% of the children from the homes that had to clear their plates were overweight going into high school and adolescence, and continued on to become obese adults. You know, again, look at the pasta. 20 years ago, plates were little. We finished our plates. Today, we're eating pasta off of these 15-inch plates and we're finishing them. So one dinner could be 2,000 calories. And we're taught to do this. So now you get to me and you can't figure out why you can't lose weight. And you know, you look at the box and you go 220 calories for a serving of pasta. I can have that. Till Irene says, put on the food scale. And then you're like, holy mother of Christ, this is all I get. I'm not eating this. So then you start eating spaghetti squash because you can eat a plate full of spaghetti squash that big for 200 calories. Do you see the difference? Until you log it, it's not concrete enough. You're not seeing it. It's too abstract. So mindless eating is our other nemesis. I read this great book. It's in here somewhere. It's called Mindless Eating. It's such a great book. If anybody wants to read it, I can get you the author. It was written by a food scientist, which I kind of wish I can go back to school and become a food scientist. How cool is that? Food psychologist, University of Illinois. He has a food lab, which is actually a restaurant, and nobody knows it's a food lab. And people go there to eat, and he studies their behaviors. And it's really cool. So, and he wrote this book. So one of the things that he did in this in this restaurant, he's done a lot of things, but one of the things he does is he'll conduct these studies where he'll do this all you can eat barbecue chicken wing night. And one night he'll instruct the waitresses to clear the tables of the the wings, the debris, and count how many wings each person eats when they don't see the wings, the bones. And then he'll do the same study, all you can eat, free, leaving the pile of bones there so people have a visual reminder of what they ate. It's astonishing. People will eat over 50% less when they see the bones. Awesome. It's no different than if you sit there on Halloween, and I've urged people many times, Halloween, don't throw away the wrappers. Eat as much candy as you want, but keep the wrappers right in front of you. You're gonna eat a lot less because it's not mindless. You're doing no different when you're writing it down. So mindless eating is a very, very, very manipulatable thing. We have control over this. But if we don't know the things that we can control and manipulate, then we don't do it. So this has changed me a lot because I am in control of these things and I'm aware of these things, and I think about my thinking. So this could be a game changer for you, like it was for me. First of all, we eat when we're distracted. We eat when we're watching TV. We eat when we're on our computers. We eat when we're on the phone. And when that happens, we're bottomless pits. When you go out to restaurants, again, food studies have been done where the waitress will keep bringing food as people are talking and conversing, and people will just keep eating because you're not paying attention. So unplug while you're eating. You're going to save yourself a lot of calories because you're not going to be distracted. Don't talk on the phone and snack. I don't talk on the phone much anymore. But I noticed a couple months ago, I was on the phone and I was in the kitchen, and it was like an old habit just sparked back. And I was like munching on pretzels or something, and it was like, oh my God, it's happening again. I mean, it literally reminded me of like my chubby years, because that's what I would do. Sit on the phone with your girlfriends, right? You're not doing anything. You don't think about it. And the next thing you know, you've consumed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calories. So make that a no. Do not have that be a habit. Just break it right away. Visual cues, like I told you, the debris, the wrappers, leave them out so that you're aware of what you've eaten. Pistachio nuts, the shells. Also, when you are trying to keep yourself from eating mindlessly, don't have stuff out that's going to make you grab it. Don't have the chips out. Of course you're going to grab the chips. Don't have a candy jar of jelly beans out. You're inevitably going to grab them. Instead, put things out that are going to entice you. Put out fruit. Put out, cucumbers or watermelon or something that's going to make you want to take that. It's like an ongoing commercial in your house if you think about it. Don't have things out that are going to make you have cravings. I was at my daughter's apartment a couple weeks ago, and it's this like just ISU apartment, and they don't have a lot of space, so all of their junk food was on the top of the refrigerator and on top of their shelves. They had their bags of chips and their Cheerios and their cereal and all this. And I was like, oh my God, I wanted to eat it all. It was like right there in my face. So pack it away. Pack your kids' stuff away. You don't want to see it. We eat way too fast. I have become the Earth's slowest eater in the whole world, and I love it. I eat so slow now. It drives everybody crazy, but it's the best thing ever, because you want to enjoy your food, and sometimes we just scoff it down so fast, and you're done eating and you're like, that's it. So slow down, right? Slow down. Eat with chopsticks if you have to. Slow down. Like I don't know how I converted from a fast eater to a slow eater, but I mean, I'm so slow, it's pathetic. But I eat a lot less because it takes a long time. And too much variety. We have way too many selections, and that causes us to mindlessly eat. So let me give you an example of this. Thanksgiving dinner or 4th of July picnic or whatever. We have 4 different salads, 7 different appetizers, 3 different desserts. Minimize. When you have all this stuff, you are going to want to taste it all. You're human. So you want to be a pleaser, of course, but you're human. So why do you have to have 5 different desserts out at, a party or an event? You're going to have the leftovers. You're going to mindlessly munch. Minimize. You don't have to have as many choices. When you have it there, you're only going to eat it. And the biggest thing for mindless eating is educate on what's truly healthy. Oftentimes, especially people before they start my program, they think they're eating healthy because it's Greek yogurt with, chia seeds, and it's not. So you really have to look at the labels and look at the ingredients. And again, this is where logging comes in, because when you have to go to your log and you have to write in that you ate this chia seed, tapioca, pomegranate, Greek yogurt, but it's 380 calories, you've been fooled, because you could have had ice cream. So, any questions so far?
I have a question, but I think it's good. So
What?
true.
It's true.
So
I
I
was
have
going to say,
no questions. The Finish Your Plate Club is really true.
I agree with that.
mhm.
Trying not to do that with my own kids.
Yeah. You know, I read that study, like I told you before, or I saw it on Newsweek, and now I've Googled it and I've actually read the study. I read it after my oldest daughter, who's now 22, she was, I think, like 12 months. She was eating solid food. And, you know, I'm 100% Greek. So my mom's like, you know, eat, 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 eat. And I just remember feeding her and just being like, she's got to finish the baby food. She's got to finish it. You know, my mom's like, she's got to finish it. And after I read that study, I'm like, mm-mm. And of my 4 kids, she was the one that had the food, like finish my plate. Like she was the one that, you know, we would order pizza and there would be 1 slice left, and she'd be like, I have to have it. Like even if she wasn't hungry, she was like hoarding it. And she did reach almost 200 pounds in high school. And luckily she's lost it and she's a tiny peanut now. She's like 120 something, but, and I don't know if that's coincidence, but I vividly remember of all my kids, she was the one that I made finish her food. And then I stopped it. Like, and now my little one, I'm just like, eat whenever you want. And I even tell her, she ate a late snack tonight. Her snack was like at 4 o'clock. And we're going to eat dinner after this. If she doesn't want to eat, I'm just going to tell her. And I say this all the time, Ava, if you're not hungry for dinner, don't eat. I mean, why should she eat? She had dinner she had a sandwich at 4 o'clock, where a lot of parents would say, eat dinner before you get your brownie. That you're just making your kid be overweight when you do that. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, you know, my pediatrician, actually, when I spoke to her about this, her words were, no child will ever starve. And this study, by the way, oh my gosh, I almost forgot the most important part. The researchers determined that in this study, that at the age of 3, not 2, not 4, not 5, the age of 3, humans are able to know when they are full and walk away. And parents influence that and disrupt that. So at the age of 2, they're not able to do that yet. They're too young. And at the age of 4, the influence has already occurred by parents. They've already learned, and they've already been influenced. So at the age of 3, humans know I'm full, I'm going to walk away. And you've seen it happen with your kids and grandkids. I mean, who eats a Pop-Tart and leaves a quarter of it and walks away? Right? A 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, who eats a brownie and leaves this like gooey, goppy, delicious looking brownie on their plate at a party? You're like, what? Why wouldn't you finish that? A kid will do that. An adult would never do that.
So true.
It's true.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so recently, I've been better about logging and putting in measuring and doing all those things.
Yeah.
So I measure what goes on my plate and it's
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
But a couple of times I've gotten full before I finished that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm supposed to have those calories, aren't I? So kind of make myself finish. That's not right either, is
That's
it?
a really good question. So in that case, it really does depend on what it is that you're eating. So in that case, let's just say you are eating. Can you give me an example of what you were eating?
Well, like say dinner, if I had some chicken that I'd measured out and was on my plate, and I have a vegetable and I have maybe some kind of starch or and a salad or whatever. And I'm finding that sometimes I'm getting, well, it was a breakfast the other day, and halfway through the breakfast, and I thought, I'm feeling full.
Yeah.
Should I stop or should I finish my breakfast because I planned for this?
Well, you have to troubleshoot. So this is what I would do. I don't believe in ever stuffing yourself. So if it's something that's on the meal plan and it's a portion that I've said is a portion, I wouldn't finish it, or I would eat the important parts. So for example, the chicken, don't eat the potato and don't eat the vegetables, and, eat the protein. But in the case of your breakfast, let's say you didn't finish your breakfast, but then an hour later you're ravenously hungry, then the next day that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of times when people start eating really nutritionally dense foods like are on my meal plan, they're not used to getting this much protein. I've had people that weigh over 300 pounds contact me week one into a plan and go, I can't eat this much. And I'm like, you're eating 3,000 calories last week. This is only 1,500. How are you full? Well, because my 1,500 is solid protein and their 3,000 was garbage. So, that's the thing. And I've had that happen before where I'm like, I can't finish this. And an hour later, I'm like, I want to eat my arm off. So in that case, maybe put it in the refrigerator and eat it later.
Well, I wondered about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does work to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Many times for dinner, I'm not hungry. But then 7 o'clock, it's bad. I'm eating like I don't even want to admit it.
You're grabbing it, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the other night I told a couple people this, those amazing blueberry layered things that I made for my blog.
Where are we going to get that recipe? That looked delicious.
It was on my blog. If you should get it in your email if you signed up for my blog.
I've signed up for your blog, but I don't think I got it. I'll look.
Okay, look, and if not, send me a text message and I'll check. Anyhow, so that was one of those nights where for some reason I must have had a late lunch and dinner came and I really wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat dinner, and I didn't eat any of those blueberry things all day. But then I had like 4 or 5 of them right before bed, like an idiot. So stupid. It's like, what? And I know they're only 80 calories each, but did I really need to eat 450 calories of blueberry chia squares right before bed? I mean, that was just the dumbest thing ever. And when I do stuff like that, I'm like, okay, if I do this, then I know everybody else is doing it too. So I would have been better off having maybe just a little chicken breasts or something small. I didn't have, if the family had, rice and broccoli and chicken, I could have had maybe just the chicken to save myself the torture of feeling like garbage the whole next day, and it was just a really dumb thing, but we do it. I've done it. I'll do it again, I'm sure. So that's the problem with skipping snacks and so, okay.
Thank you.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Not short. I'm curious if it makes a big difference on like what time of day you're getting your calories. Because typically I want to eat like right before bed, and I know in my head that's not the best choice, but is there like a strong correlation between like getting most of your calories, but like say by 5 o'clock, and then like that whole intermittent fasting concept? Is that, what are your thoughts there?
The theory behind that is if you are allotted 1,500 calories in a day, you shouldn't eat them all at once. And theoretically, if if you eat them within that 24-hour time period, it doesn't matter. If you're in a deficit and it's 8 o'clock at night, like I'm in a deficit right now because I ate, my whole day was messed up today. So I'm in a deficit. If I don't eat my dinner till 8 p.m., I'm negative. It's like I'm on a negative balance. So when I eat, I won't be in a deficit. So,
Okay.
so the only problem though is if you eat late at night, it's not going to digest. And so when you get on the scale the next day, it's still in your stomach. It has not digested, and it's going to reflect on the scale as pounds. It does not
Right.
mean you've gained weight though. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So it takes, it takes 8 hours for a protein to digest. It takes 12 hours for, if you ate something like broccoli, it takes longer to digest. So, if you're eating at 9 p.m. and then you get up at 4 and weigh yourself, it's still in your gut. So
Okay.
that's the only thing. So, and I've done that before where I'll eat late and then I'll weigh myself the next day and I'll know, okay, you're going to be up a pound or two because it's still in your stomach.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so, oopsie, finally. Where did that go? Okay, logging. It brings awareness to everything we eat. It measures our portions so we don't overconsume. It reduces our mindless eating. It makes us accountable to everything, and it documents our food intake. So why don't we log? In conclusion to our my presentation, why don't we log? Why do you think people have such a hard time logging?
Accountability.
That's,
Everybody,
yeah, that's,
everybody wants accountability though.
It's a pain in the ass sometimes.
Okay, it is. But again, it's a pain. But people do. I mean, people will pay money. People go and have liposuction and have their guts sucked out. People do that. How much more of an inconvenience is this?
I find sometimes I can't seem to find exactly what I'm eating on MyFitnessPal. I have to kind of break it down and figure out, okay, so maybe there was this and this, and there was about this much in this, and
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. If I don't put the recipe, if I know the recipe and I
Yeah.
don't put it on the MyFitnessPal, if I don't know the recipe, trying to figure that out, it's a little frustrating sometimes.
You're right.
So I'm
And
guessing.
I actually made I don't know if you saw it, but I did a tutorial today on cutting and pasting. It's really, really good. Like I have it like down to a science where you could just cut, copy, paste. Super easy.
If you have the recipe.
If you have the recipe.
Some things, yeah, some things you just don't know.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, I have found that, and you guys can tell me what you think on this, because this is, I'm guilty of this one. Top reasons why people don't like to log, the bottom line is you get less food. You do.
yeah.
You do. So when I'm struggling, trying to get somebody to log, and even me, when I'm up my 5 pounds, because, everybody has those 5 pounds, and I say, all right, Irene, it's time to log. In the depths of my brain, I'm like, oh man, I got no more big piles of whipped cream on my casein. I got this little tiny little scoop now. I mean, it's true. It's true. So, but that tells you that we're overeating. It's overconsumption. It's all those little bites and nibbles and little potato chips here and the sip of somebody's orange juice and the this and the that and the. So the bottom line, oh, my favorite slide. Hang on, my favorite slide. To be successful, You just have to log.
Do it.
Once you get used to it,
That's not, that knife looks a little dangerous.
Yeah. It can be sharper though.
do you know what that's from?
That's probably one of the ones you stole from Punta Cana.
No, it might be. That was me teaching one of my videos. I was using knives
Great.
as sticks, and I stopped the video, like it just stopped right there, and it froze it. So yeah. So it's
Doesn't look
hard.
near-
Pardon?
It doesn't look nearly as dangerous as the one Kaylee was talking with earlier.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so the bottom line is, logging is really going to be what is going to get that weight off. And again, it's hard, but also I will say that, and Marissa will tell you, because I've examined her logs so many times. The good thing about it is when you do log, and you're logging consistently, I can go in and I can look at your log and go, oh, I see what you're doing wrong here. Or, oh yeah, you need to add more protein or less fat, or, if you're not doing that, I can't evaluate it. I can't see what you're doing. So, cool. Any questions? No questions? None at all?
Yes.
Good. Good. Kim, I thought you were gone. Where'd you go?
No.
I was, but I returned.
Oh, you returned.
I had a doorbell ringing issue.
Oh, I see.
I had a
Okay.
visitor.
Nice.
Didn't come in the house.
I'm gonna have to take off. Thank you
Okay,
so
well,
much.
thanks.
We're gonna
thank
go
you guys.
walk.
Thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
joining. I did tape this, so I am going to post it if you guys want to watch it later again. But definitely. Oh, hi, Kaylee. You're back.
I'm back. I'm still here.
We were just talking about your big knife.
I know, I was listening. I'm making